Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Attack on Treasures, and I'm pretty sure that I had started reading this on my own at some point. Because I didn't see any videos of me doing readings for it. Or anything. So, and I didn't see any videos in my, on my hard drive, because, even if I had gotten a copyright strike, the videos would have still been on my computer. But I didn't see anything. So, and when I went and opened this book, it had already gotten a good distance on reading into it. So, I guess I started reading it on my own at some point. I don't know when. But, yeah, so I'm a spider, so what? Won the poll. So, let us get started. One, starting with the bang. I don't even know if I could even do a good sound for this. But, I tried to scream just now, but I actually can't even manage a groan. Is my body messed up that badly? Okay, calm down. I don't feel any pain. The last thing I remember is the onslaught of sudden, monstrous agony in the middle of classical literature class. I probably fainted because of that, but no part of me feels hurt at the moment. That doesn't really sound good. That said, even when I open my eyes, everything is pitch black. I have no idea where I am. And if you guys do remember me doing the reactions for the anime, that's the only thing I found for this series on my computer was that. Her perspective is in the past. Everybody else is in the present. So she has so much time to get up to their level once they grow up. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, I have no idea where I am. In fact, I can barely move at all, like something's wrapped around my body. No, not hypothetically, like I can literally tell. I really am bound in something, some material that's hard but has a little give to it. I could just faintly hear some rustling sounds from outside. Okay, what's going on here? Have I been kidnapped? No, let's be real. What would anyone get out of kidnapping a bottom-of-the-barrel girl like me? Well, regardless of how sketchy the situation is, I only need to escape. That's why I hear a loud crack. Oh ho! When I pushed my weight against the thing covering me, it started to break. Alright, time to finish the job and get out of here. Putting more power into it, I burst right through, scrabbling out head first. Sweet freedom! The view before my eyes is crawling with spiders. That would be my worst nightmare! Because I have a phobia of spiders. That would be my worst nightmare. What? Why? Ew! What is with this freaking army of spiders? Excuse me, but why are they all as big as me? Oh, gross. Most of them keep popping out of these egg-looking things. Is that what the rustling was coming from? Instinctively, I shrank away. My legs bump into something, and I turn to look. Is this it? The thing I crawled out of earlier? Why does it kind of resemble the eggs this spider legion was bursting out of? No, it doesn't merely look like that. It is one, isn't it? I look down at myself more carefully. My neck won't move. Despite that, at the edges of my peripheral vision, I can see what appears to be my legs. Spider legs. Okay, don't panic! And this isn't what I think it is, right? It is, though. I think it's super popular online right now. No. Unreal! This can't be happening, right? Please say it's not happening. I'd be freaking out too, girl. I guess anybody will be freaking out at this point. I glance down again. There are thin, wiry legs just like those of the spiders wriggling around me. Concentrating, I try moving them. The spider appendages move accordingly. Yep, I have to face the facts. Apparently, I've been reincarnated as a spider. Unreal. Right when I feel ready to break down, I hear some crunching noises. Disturbing ones, actually. It won't do me any good to ignore reality. Right in front of me is a humongous army of spiders, probably my brothers and sisters. Whatever these sounds are, they're probably coming from them. I slowly bring myself to take in the scene before me. There, One of the spiders is noisily devouring its buddy. Ah, shit, cannibal spiders. Not good. Yeah, you could be next. Ah! The hell these things got... What the hell are these guys doing? Seriously, they're eating each other. Cannibalism? Well, I mean, some spiders do that. Because I know that there are some species of spiders that when they're born, they devour the parents. And there are some spider females that will devour their mates, either when they underperform or just for the hell of it. I think that's what black widows do. If I remember correctly, let me know in the comments, please. I'd love to know. As I look on, my siblings began a bloodbath in their fierce competition for survival. No, 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 no. This is bad. This is bad. Why should we have to fight one another like this, my brothers and sisters? All right. For food, I guess. They're hungry. Yeah, survival of the fittest. Those who survive get to eat. Speaking of, I could use something to eat myself. Huh? That's a scary train of thought. Reality got away from me there for a moment. On a battlefield like this, an innocent high school girl like me could fall prey to the wicked ways of men in an instant. Metaphorically and literally. Times like this call for running like hell. Fighting? Not happening. I'm a natural-born homebody. There's no way I could ever challenge something so gross and violent. Ah, I just remembered that's what I am now. Okay. Instead of wasting time thinking about stupid crap, I figured I'd better get a move on. But apparently it's a little too late for that. The ground is ominously rumbling beneath my feet. Now what? The sounds and tremors are coming from behind. Turning around, I find myself looking up at an enormous, giant spider. Ooh, might you be mother? Or perhaps father? Whatever. I'm getting all confused again. Seriously though, why is it so huge? This massive arachnid has got to be dozens of times larger than me. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I feel pretty confident there weren't any spiders this big on Earth. Ah! Yeah, either you're tiny, like teeny tiny, like, you know, a spider that could barely fit on the pad of your finger, essentially. It's tiny. Or you're in another world. It just depends on how big the boulders are. Actually, no. It depends on how big other animals are. Because that would be your judge of how big you are. Because you can't really judge on the rocks. Because if you're teeny tiny, rocks look like boulders. Or pebbles look like boulders. So, yeah. With a brisk snap, the Titan skewers a smaller one of its kind with a claw and devours it. Sort of like she's having a light snack. Et tu, mother? Well, I'll think about all this later on. For now, my only goal is to get out of here safely and try and survive. I run away at full speed. Only when I'm so tired I can barely move do I finally calm down. Luckily, when I turned to check, I found that nobody chased after me. Good. Because you wouldn't have gotten away. Oof, I thought I was going to die. It would have sucked to get killed after only being alive for a couple minutes. Anyway, now that I've come to my senses a little, I have a lot to think about. First of all, why did I die? Actually, now that I think about it, I don't necessarily know for sure that my life ended at all. I sort of decided on my own that I died and got reincarnated as a spider. I mean, you did say you were in monstrous agony before you woke up in this body, so it kind of stands to reason that, you might have died. Or you could be in a coma and dreaming all this. But it's not like I actually remember kicking the bucket. Pretty sure my last memory is of the classical literature teacher who we call Miss Oka reading aloud from the textbook. I'd been dozing off a little when suddenly I was overwhelmed by crushing agony, and then I have no memories of what happened after. Yeah, I think you kind of did that. If I did die, it was probably because of that mysterious pain, but I have no idea what caused it at all. At any rate, the most likely conclusion is still that I died at that moment and was reincarnated as a spider. Other than that, I guess it's possible that I'm alive and my spirit is currently possessing a spider or something similar. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now that I think about it, they were all reincarnated at the same time, but everybody else were babies at the time, so obviously they would have to grow up, so I'm kind of going off of what the show does, essentially. Like, maybe my original body is in a vegetative state lying on a hospital bed right now? Possibly. Or, here's an even crazier idea. Maybe I'm not the real me at all. Just some total stranger who happens to have the memories of another person. No, I don't think that's it. Are there any stories like that in our world? Like, any isekais like that? I doubt it. Maybe the real me is sitting in class like usual, even now? Well, it's not like there's any way for me to know for sure. How can I prove I'm not who I think I am anyway? I'll end up spouting incomprehensible nonsense like, I think therefore I am, and stuff. Besides, the most likely conclusion from the evidence is the ridiculous idea that I have been reincarnated, so I may as well throw common sense to the wind. At any rate, better put all this aside for now. In the spirit of I think, therefore I am, I'm just going to assume that I am in fact myself until proven otherwise. Yeah, best to do that instead of overthinking about it, or else you're going to drive yourself insane. So apparently I'm a spider now. There's definitely no denying that anymore. While I was running away, I was able to hop and jump in ways a human never could. So if I'm a spider, what was up with that Hulk I saw before? Given the circumstances, maybe it really was one of my arachnid parents. I don't know the specifics of spider biology, but I don't think it's that unusual in nature for animals to eat their young. The other spiders were clearly cannibalistic right from birth, so the parent eating its children shouldn't be all that surprising. If that giant spider was one of my parents, I wonder if that means I'll be that size too someday. It's a possibility. Thinking about it makes me feel a little sick. Okay, forget that part. Let's get back on track. Let's see. Really, there's one thing that I'm particularly hung up on, specifically the fact that I'm a monster. The whole reincarnation genre is pretty popular in web novels and stuff right now, so I guess it's not that isn't that alien an idea. Getting reincarnated as a monster, I mean, yeah, there are some shows out there and books where you do that. Some are reincarnated as a sword, reincarnated as a goblin, reincarnated as a vending machine. Let's see, what else are there? I mean, reincarnated as a slime, duh. Reincarnated as a dragon hatchling, there's a bunch out there. Those are the only ones that I know of on the top of my head. So the question is, am I a normal Earth species, or is this not Earth at all, but a parallel world where I've been reborn as a beast? Judging by the huge spider from before, my guess would lean toward the latter, but then the difficulty level of surviving here would probably go way up. Yeah, it is the latter. This isn't getting me anywhere. I don't have enough information to prove what's going on, or to parse what's going on. Is this Earth or not? Am I a monster or just a normal spider? If this is a different world, what kind of world is it? There's a mountain of things I want to know, but I have no way of finding out. If only this were a novel or something, I'd probably have an appraisal skill that will help me figure it out. Number of skill points currently in possession, 100. Number of skill points required to acquire skill appraisal level 1, 100. Acquire skill. Whoa, what? For real? A mechanical voice completely devoid of emotion suddenly echoed in my mind. That's surprising in more ways than one. I wouldn't have picked appraisal just yet. At the very least, I would have asked what other skills I could have gotten. Then again, there's probably tons of them out there, so I mean... If first I'm hearing voices at all, secondly that these skills exist here. Obviously, there's no such skill system on Earth, I wish, and I've never heard any voices announcing things in my head before now. That would be insanely awesome if there was a skill system on Earth like that. That would be crazy. You could learn new languages without too much trouble. You could learn new skills without too much trouble. But then again, people would be abusing that system quite a lot. So... I've never heard any voices announcing things in my head before now. So does that mean this isn't Earth? Probably yeah. I guess that gives my I'm a monster theory a lot more weight. Being a monster in a parallel world seems like a recipe for death. But let's not think about that. Nope. 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 More importantly, it's really real. The appraisal skill actually does exist. Woohoo! Now we're talking. Finally, this is starting to feel like a proper fantasy reincarnation story. Obviously, my answer is yes. I would have waited, but, yeah. Appraisal level 1 acquired. Remaining skill points, 0. Apparently, that used up all my skill points, but I decided not to worry about that for now. Forget about that! It's time to use my brand spanking new appraisal skill to examine the crap out of my surroundings, and it's gonna be poo. I already know from the show. I pick a nearby rock at random, trying to think appraise as I focus on it. It worked! Information flowed smoothly into my mind. Stone. Wait, what? That's all? No. I want to appraise myself, to be honest. Just to see where we'll find out. That can't be right, can it? It probably just failed because it's my first time. Let me try again. Stone. Huh? Is that seriously it? No. It must be that this stone doesn't have any valuable information because it's just an ordinary rock. Possibly. This time I decided to test my skill on a wall. Maybe that'll tell me something about the area I'm in. If I could get an area, say such like such and such cave, a little description or something like similar, I definitely feel a lot better. Wall. I'm not even going to say anything. I should have considered the fact that the skill name, Appraisal Level 1, went out of its way to mention its level. For all intents and purposes, this seems to mean a Level 1 skill won't provide me with any useful results, at least until you get to something crazy. Maybe raising the level will improve it, but I've used up all my skill points. I can't believe I blew everything on a useless ability! Yep, you should have thought about that. I don't know what other skills were available. For all I know, there might have been some that could have been useful at level 1. No, I should look at it the other way. If this is what appraisal is like at level 1, surely any other level 1 skill would have been just as ineffective. Depending. Would have been weak. You know? Yeah, let's go with that. Otherwise, I won't be able to live with myself. Unreal. At this point, I figure I might as well appraise myself. Yes, what you should have done. Spider. Nameless. I knew it would say spider, of course, but why nameless? Because you don't have a name. I am a spider, as yet I have no name. Is it a Natsume Sosuke kind of thing? I don't know what that means. I mean, I had a name in my previous life, but I guess I don't anymore since I'm a spider now. I better put aside my useless appraisal skill for the time being. If anything, it's only increasing the number of mysteries. Such as the skill points I used to gain the appraisal skill. Presumably, I could acquire more skills by saving up more points. I have no idea how to go about acquiring any, though. Between levels, skills, and skill points, this world feels very video game-esque. I mean, that could be kind of fun, right? Although, I don't know if I can afford to have any fun at this time. Whatever, I'm getting hungry. There's no point in hanging around the same place forever, so I'll just have to get a move on and see if I can find something to eat. I thought I'd just walk around for a while, but this cave is way too big. This is all relative to my size, of course, but the ceiling is so high I can barely make anything out, and the width is just so absurd. The random scattered rocks help give a little sense of variety, but it still seems pretty darn spacious for a cave. Eventually, I find a path that branches off. Climbing up to a fairly sizable rock, I try squinting down the path. There's something there. From what I can tell, it's a bunch of monstrous creatures milling around. Deer. Bat. Oh God. Bat. So many bats! So many wolves. Ouch, was that a migraine? My stupid appraisal skill must have gone up on its own because that sudden explosion of information made my head hurt. I mean, they do seem kind of like deer if I look really hard, but I don't remember the deer in my world having such shiny, sharp-looking horns. And the bats flapping around in the air look more like hideous rodents sprouting devil wings. The wolves at least seem normal, except now I see that they have 6 legs. Am I supposed to pass through here? Yeah, right! I'm just a tiny newborn spider. The difficulty level is way too high. I stealthily crawl back down from the rock. So there are real monsters. This really isn't Earth. Not to mention that these so-called deer and wolves are the same size they would be on Earth. Don't think about it. Okay, now what? Ahead of me is a gauntlet of monsters. Behind me is spider hell. Is this for real? Am I in checkmate? Okay, calm down, please. You did say it branches off. So what's down the other path? I thought this kind of thing might happen, so I prepared an alternate strategy for just such an occasion. Well, it actually isn't anything that fancy. I just happened to find a different path earlier. The smaller side road would have been easy to miss because it was right next to this huge one, an unassuming little hole in the wall. Nevertheless, it's about 10 feet around, so I'll fit through without a problem. On that note, I still need to look for food. Hopefully I'll find a way out of this cave, too. With that decided, time to head out. This triumphant departure on the next leg of my journey is going great, except that I immediately get lost. Of course. Oh boy, can I say it again? This cave is way too big. Seriously, what is with this huge labyrinth? Why are there so many freaking paths branching off everywhere? I mean, you are in a labyrinth, so... you're in a dungeon, of course. How many, you ask? I gave up counting after it went past 10. I'm encountering more than my fair share of monsters, too. And that since I immediately run away each time, I've completely lost track of where I came from. Ugh, unreal. If I want to get anywhere in this labyrinth, I'll seriously need a map. No way am I going to find an exit at this rate. And then I discover something totally crazy. There's footprints on the ground. Human footprints. I can distinctly make out a couple of sets of footprints, which means people have passed through this place. In fact, this is proof that humans exist in this world at all. This big revelation is making me a little emotional. But now I'm noticing something a little bit, no, more like really alarming. My body is so much larger than these footprints. Judging by the size of whatever made these tracks, my own body must be at least 3 feet tall. Nah, I'm sure it's just a dwarf footprints. That's gotta be it. Can't believe this. Nope. Well, then again. I started to suspect when I saw that giant spider before, to be honest. No matter how I look at it, I'm unquestionably a monster. Thanks a lot! I've been trying to avoid it, but I finally have to face all the facts. Being reborn as a spider is shocking in itself, but I'm a monster spider too. This is messed up. So messed up that some people might despair and even end it all. I'm definitely not considering death myself. And this is still kind of a bummer. Well, no use sitting around and sulking though. Since this world is clearly different from my own, I don't know what kinds of dangers to expect. For one, there's no guarantee that there won't be more giant spiders like that spider. Or gigantic monsters like that spider. And going by my own size, that thing must have been 100 feet tall. Are humans even able to take down a creature like that? Probably not, right? If there are already boss monsters here, the giant spider is definitely one of them. So that makes me the offspring of a boss monster then. Sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? Actually, doesn't that mean that if I run into people, they'll try to kill me? It's totally possible. Actually, chances are good that's exactly what'll happen. Suddenly, I see something lying on the ground near the footprints. What's that? After a closer look, I recognize it as the dismembered remains of a spider. Yep, the same species as me. Wow, what skillful dissection. This is probably the work of humans, huh? I do not like where this is going. If any humans find me, they're definitely gonna murder me. Oh, boy. Small lesser pterodactyl. HP 26 out of 26. MP 26 out of 26. SP, which I'm guessing is stamina, 26 out of 26. What's this one right here? I don't know. 26 out of 26. Average offensive ability, 8. Average defensive ability, 8. 8 across the board, it looks like. Hold on. There we go. I realized I could do this when I was looking at the comics before and I just randomly clicked on it and it got bigger. Okay. Skill, Poison Fang level 1, Night Vision level 9, Spider Thread level 3, and Poison Resistance level 1. Weak. Danger level F, the lowest possible. In addition to being weak stats-wise, all it knows how to do is charge an opponent's head on, so it is simple to defeat. However, some individuals will occasionally build nests, which makes them much more dangerous. If a nest is discovered, it should be destroyed immediately. Both the spider's thread and the spider itself can be destroyed by fire. Okay. Come on, dumb thing. Hold on. There we go. Okay, let me see how far have I gotten. 24 minutes. I'll continue. The end of normal life. It happened on a completely ordinary day. The kind of where you go to school, chat with your friends. Is it supposed to be with somebody else, one of the other humans? Or is it still with the spider girl? I can't remember what her name is. The kind where you go to school, chat with your friends, take classes, go home and play video games, eat dinner, take a bath, and go to bed. At least that's how it was supposed to go. That day I rubbed my eyes sleepily while I walked to school. I'd stayed up late playing online games the night before, and now I was paying for it. Once I got to school, I stifled a yawn as I entered the classroom. Morning. Good morning. Morning. What's up? You look hella tired, dude. I'm guessing this is the guy, damn it. I can't even remember what his name is. He's the blue-haired guy. That's all I know. The one with the hero title, essentially. I greeted my friends in class. Kyoya Sasajima and Kanata Oshima. Those two played the same video games as me, so they were basically my gaming buddies. Yeah, you're not going to believe it. I formed a pickup party with Baldy himself yesterday. For real? Yeah, for real. So I pretty much pulled an all-nighter. No way, dude. You serious? What was this? After I crashed? Kanata had played with me for part of the evening. He logged out before me, though, saying he was going to bed. Damn it, if I knew that was going to happen, I would have stuck with it a little longer. He seemed genuinely disappointed, but I'd only been looking for a pickup party in the first place because he'd signed off. If he'd stayed, I probably wouldn't have wound up with Baldy at all. Who the heck is Baldy? I don't know. So, what was it like seeing Baldy up close? Kyoya's question brought up memories of Baldy's heroic deeds. That guy can't be human, yo, I said. Would you believe he dodged a Bespel witch's magic and just charged right at it? Damn, leave it to Baldy. They don't call him Skanda for nothing. Don't ask me. Now, no matter how good a speedster you are, you need a good arm to pull up a trick like that. It always comes down to this in the end. Kanata smacked his own arm as he spoke. True enough, even if I had the same stats and equipment as Baldy, I doubt I could manage the same feat. I want to get reborn into a game world. I know. You wish, pal. Want to do some level grinding after school? Yeah, sure. I'm in too. Let's train somewhere really tough. Just as our conversation was wrapping up, the school bell rang and we all scattered to our desks. We had no idea that we'd never get to make good on that promise. Huh? When I got to my seat and began preparing for class, I realized my pencil case wasn't in my bag. After a moment's thought, I recalled taking it out to scribble down some game info on my notebook. I probably forgot to put it back. Ah, crap. What's wrong? Yuka Hasebe, the girl with the desk next to mine, responded to my grumbling. I forgot my pencil case. Oh, did you? Well, I suppose you can borrow these then. Hasebe handed me a pencil and eraser. Thanks. You owe me a piece of candy. Come on, you're charging me? I groaned, but smiled wryly and waved a hand in acknowledgement at nonetheless. Of course, now I know this was just another promise I wouldn't be able to keep. Then, during our classical Japanese lesson, it happened. So tired. I was fighting a losing battle against my overwhelming drowsiness. Alrighty then, pay attention please. Next is page 37 of the textbook, starting on line 1. Let's see, let's have Miss Shinohara translate it, shall we, since she's peeking at her cell phone in the middle of class. Ha. Huh? Hearing her name, Mirei Shinohara squeaked and scrambled frantically to conceal her smartphone. In the seat next to her, Kengo Natsume was suppressing a smirk, but he was clearly fiddling with his phone, too. I wouldn't be quite so smug, Mr. Natsume. If Shinohara can't answer, then you're up next, okay? Ha. Our teacher, Miss Kanami Okazaki, though we all call her Miss Oka, had noticed Natsume's hands, too, which triggered some chuckling around the classroom. Natsume's face turned red and he scowled as the class laughed at him. The person laughing the hardest was Natsume's closest friend, Issei Sakurazaki, who had turned all the way around in his front row seat just to point and laugh. Now, quiet down please, class. Your answer, Miss Shinohara? In the end, neither Shinohara nor Natsume was able to answer, and another wave of giggles rippled through us. The mood of the class stayed relaxed as Miss Oka began to read out loud. To me, her voice might as well have been a lullaby. I knew that if I didn't do anything, I'd doze off in no time, and I looked up from my textbook. Almost all the other students had their eyes on their books. Most likely they figured that if they slacked off, they'd end up like Shinohara and Natsume. Miss Oka was usually very kind and friendly, but if she caught you skipping class or goofing off, she could be merciless. Meanwhile, when my eyes stopped at a particular student, what caught my attention was the girl sitting in the seat to the front left of mine. We'll call her Rihoko, but that wasn't her real name. It was short for real horror with ko on the end to make it a girl's name. She was super creepy, all skin and bones with a pale and permanently dour face. I don't like to trash talk people, but even so, something about her didn't sit well with me. As if despite my valiant battle with sleepiness, she was blatantly napping on her desk. Uncomfortably, I pulled my gaze away from Yoko, and then I saw it. The crack. I don't think anyone else noticed it. In the middle of the classroom above our heads, in what would normally be empty space, there was a rift in the air. I don't know what else to call it. Not only that, but it was expanding by the second. The tear looked like it would burst open at any moment. Although I was staring right at it, I was so dumbfounded there was nothing I could do. Even if I had been able to take action. Oh, great thunder. It probably wouldn't have changed what happened. The crack split wide open. At the same moment, I felt intense, terrible pain. And then we died. Yeah, y'all died. Okay, I think I'm going to end this one off here. I hear thunder rumbling, and I don't want to accidentally get the power to go out, because that will lose my progress on this and have to re-record it. So I'm going to end this off here and get this going, and I'll see y'all in the next one.